Okay guys, welcome to the session number 28. So in the last session we are discussing about a few things related to the combined power plant operations. In unit 5 we are focusing on combined power plant operations, and the last class we are discussing about what is the need of a combined power plants, how it operated, how much it's eco-friendly, like the content we are discussed in the previous class. So in this today's class we are focusing on how the energy is divided in between the two power stations. Okay, so in the last class we just started the content, so now I would like to clear it how the energy distribution takes place in between the base load plant and peak load plant. What are the requirements for a base load plants and what are the requirements for a peak load plants? So these are the points, and we are discussing the today's class. So especially in a base load plant or a peak load plant, okay, the thing is we need to get the maximum efficiency only. But here I would like to discuss what are the components of a base load and peak load conditions. Okay, so this is a load division between the power stations. So what it is mean by load division? It is commonly a practice to serve to the load curve by the interconnected system which is have a very high peak demand. So when we have a peak demands at the time, it's a very important. In such case, the load curve is generally divided into two parts as the base load and the peak load. So here we simply divided the load curve into the base load and peak load condition. So we know already how the load curve is there. So in a load curve, so load on y-axis, time on y-axis. Okay, so 0, 6, 12, 18 and the 24 hours timing. And here 1 megawatt and 2 megawatts of power. So here we know that how the curve is like this, and like this. So the area covered in this graph represents the total amount of power required. So total amount of power required we can calculate very easily, and from that we can calculate the average load also. So how the average load we can calculate? So total power required by total hours. So total hours is 24. So from that we can calculate the average load. So the base thing is, so generally we need to calculate the average power required. And here the second thing is we can divide the base load plant and the peak load plant. So that is the point only. The load curve is generally divided into two parts as a base load plant and peak load plant. So the minimum load is 1 megawatt. The minimum load is 1 megawatt. So this is the base load plant. And the second thing is peak load plant. So here we are dividing the two parts, base load plant and the peak load plant. This is the load curve, and here we can divide the load curve in two parts. Is it right? Okay. And what is the requirements of a plant supplying the base load plant? So what are the requirements for a base load plant? Okay. So the simple thing, the base load is continuously operated. The main thing is the base load plant is need to run that continuously, and the working and maintenance cost of the plant should be minimum, because it's a continuous running process. So that's why we need to think about the cost. If you continuously running means maybe it's a higher cost of the running cost, it goes increasing to the production cost. So that's why we need to minimize the running cost. That's the first and most important thing is minimum maintenance cost is minimum. Okay, so that means fuel cost is need to be very less, like steam power plants. steam power plants, the operating or running cost is low when compared to the diesel power plant. So generally, baseload plants as a steam power plants are using as the baseload plants. Has to work for most of the time during the year. So why? Because so we need to run the system in a throughout the year. So that is the only reason we need to maintain it in a as a baseload plant. Okay. And the thing is, it must be capable to supply the load continuously. So already we discussed. So throughout the year we required continuous 1 megawatt of power. So that's why the base load plant is having capacity to run throughout the year without any disturbances. So that is also a key point. And next, so the common thing, the capital cost of the plant should be minimum. The capital cost means the investment of a plant or establishing cost of a plant should be minimum. Okay. Maybe it's not a possible thing because for a diesel power plant, say capital cost is less when compared to the steam power plant, but you need to check it, the minimum cost. So steam power plant have a less cost, capital cost when compared to the hydro or compared to the solar power plant. So that's why we can choose here, we can choose in the steam power plant as a base load plant when compared with the hydro and solar power plants. So the capital cost of the plant should be minimum and it should be located easily near to the load center. So what is the use of nearer to the load center? So when the power station is nearer to the load center, automatically it reduces the transmission losses. So most of the things you need to observe it. So the transmission losses gives a more cost when compared with the load center is nearer to the power plant. So if transmission loss is around 30%, so we are wasting only, we are getting 20% of energy. In that 30% we are again losing the 30% energy. So that means roughly we are losing the 65 to 70% of efficiency. Okay, so that's why we need to reduce the transmission losses based on the establishment of a power plant in nearer to the load center. So that is the thing. And the thing is, the fourth point, the space and the repair facility should be readily available. If you operate a one power plant, for example, if you operate a diesel power plant, so the spare parts are easily available. You can run the power plant if it is any problem it creates. Otherwise, if you don't have a spare parts, means the entire production is delayed by that due to the only maintenance process, only due to the not availability of your components. So that's why you need to check it, the components are available or not. See here, if you want to purchase anything as electronic goods or anything for you, you are checking that the service center is available or not. So if you don't have a service center, for example, if you want to buy a one bike, a BMW bike or any other bike, Harley Davidson bike, if you see that the number of service centers are less, because it's a very costly bike. In case of if you purchase a Honda or Hero bikes, so the number of service centers are more. So you can give a service to any point. Okay. So based on the equipment availability also very important. If you have only one shop or one service center, if you don't have one component, you need to wait up to 1 month because you need to transport from one place to the another place. So that's why your power station also you need to check it, the components are available or not. If the components are readily available, you can start the work. You can utilize the type of a power plant as a base load because the base load power plant is needed to operate throughout the year. So these are the minimum requirements for operating of a base load power plant. So like this, if you want to operate a peak load power plant, it is also some requirements are there. What are the needs of a peak load power plants? What is the use of peak load power plant? So generally we are using the peak load power plant when we require the high amount of power rather than the average power required. Okay. So here, See here, requirements of a plant supplying the peak load. So here, the capital cost of the plant should be minimum. Generally, we are thinking that always the capital cost should be minimum only. So, in case of a diesel power plant, the capital cost is really cheaper than the same power plant or solar power plant or hydroelectric power plant. So, why I am discussing a diesel power plant continuously? So, diesel power plant is the most of the cases we are using as a standby unit. Okay, so standby unit means we are using this system for a additional work required, additional power required, where the power is interrupted. So at that cases, we are using this as a diesel power plant. That's why we are discussing more times as a diesel power plant is required. And the cost of initial investment is very less for a diesel power plant. The problem of a diesel power plant is it requires the maintenance cost is high. And the one more interesting thing in a diesel power plant is it have a quick response. The point which is required for the peak load, it must have a quick response to change in the load. If you want to change the load, automatically it responded. If you run a hydroelectric power plant, if you want to flow, you can maintain a flow as per your wish. But in case of a steam power plant, the load variation is very difficult when compared to the hydro and diesel power plants. That is the thing. And the third important thing is the operation cost should not be high. The operation cost maybe we can maintain at a minimum price. Okay. So these are the minimum things we need to verify it when you install a power plant as a peak load plant. So here the most important things is only two things. Initial cost is less for it, both the cases. Okay. And here the important thing is quick response for a load. In a base load no need, because in a base load we continuously run at a high power only. Okay, no need to respond at other loads. But in this case only we are focusing on, most of the cases we are focusing on quick response of a load variations. And the operation cost, always we are choosing that operation cost is less only. Okay, so these are the things for your requirements. And coming to the next topic, storage type of hydroelectric plant in combination with a steam plant. Hydroelectric plant is combined with a steam power plant. How important it is. Okay. Why? Because if you don't predict the hydroelectric power city continuous, but if you want to run it a hydroelectric power plant continuous, you need to combine with another system. So that system is the steam power plant. That system is steam power plant. If you run a steam power plant, it's a combination of a hydroelectric, it can produce the electricity throughout the year. How it's possible? So by using a phase storage process, you can store the water in a lower level dam reservoir or higher level reservoirs. You can store in two places. If you run the water and you can run the pump by using a steam power plant. So like that we can continuously generating the electricity. What is the use of these things? So when you require less power at base load, so at that time you can operate the full capacity of a steam power plant. If for example the steam power capacity is 2 megawatts, the peak general base load is 2 megawatts and the peak load condition is 3 megawatts. So see here, 0, 6, 12, 18, 24. So these are the hours. 1 megawatt, 2 megawatt, 4 megawatts. 3 megawatts. So these are the power loads we have, and these are the timings in hours. So sometimes we require 1 megawatt, sometimes we require 2 megawatts, sometimes we require 4 megawatts. So if you draw a graph like this, okay. So here 1 megawatt of a load is required. So that load is continuously required. That is known as a base load. Okay. 1 megawatt is continuously required. On 2 megawatts is required maximum time. 2 megawatts is required a maximum time. Next maximum. Minimum time. So that's why if you construct a steam power plant with a minimum capacity, there is no use. Because if you maximum time require the high power. So at that cases, if you run a steam power plant with a capacity of 2 megawatts, sometimes we don't require the additional power. Morning 6 hours we don't require the additional power. 1 megawatt power is there for 6 hours. You can pump the water from back to the reservoir. So here, so this is your reservoir point. So this is your reservoir point. Here the water is there. You can pump back to the water, and here the turbine is there. Okay. So here we can generate the electricity in a daytime. When you require the 3 megawatt of power, maybe if you require the 3 megawatts of power of 6 hours. So at that time what you need to do? You run the steam power plant with hydroelectric power plant also. Hydroelectric power plants also operated with a 1 megawatt capacity. So if you get a 3 megawatts of power. But the water is not taking a flow here. The water flowing is not available. What you need to do? So when you require only 1 megawatt of power per load, and the remaining extra 1 megawatt power is used for return back to the water to a high reservoir. So this type of reverse pumping storage is known as storage power plants. Storage and pondage power plants are also very important. Storage and pondage power plants. Storage and pondage conditions. So see here, in the thermal power plants, some parts should be kept hot to meet the sudden fluctuations of the peak load. Okay, which may involve a losses of 1 to 2.5% of full load steam consumptions. So it sometimes if you want to continuously heat up the process, if you don't follow the heat temperature of a steam power plant, maybe it causes to a loss of energy. Okay, so the simple thing is if you want to run the power plant in a storage purpose only. So the storage is okay. So this is the pumped storage is very important. So in a pumped storage condition, generally what we need to do in a pumped storage condition, so we need to recycle the water only. So this is your dam point, and this is the lower reservoir, and this is our upper reservoir, and here this is the penstock. So here we are placing the turbine and flow the turbine on the water. Okay, so the electricity is generated here by using of a generator. When you require the additional power of a 3 megawatts, and remaining time what we need to do? For additional energy we are using for the pump back to the water to the upper reservoir. Okay, so this type of power storage is known as storage hydroelectric power. Storage hydroelectric power. Okay, so these are the things in a storage hydroelectric power plant, combination of a steam power plants. Okay, so now I would like to summarize the today's class. So in the present session we are mainly focusing on two things. One is load division. So load division between base load plants and peak load plants. So here we have two types of power loads. One is the base load, that is a continuous power required. Continuous power required, and this is a particular time required or maximum power required. Maximum power required. So how it is divided? So you can simply divide it in two parts. The first is the base load and top one is the peak load in a load curve. So this is our load curve. In the load curve, we are separating it base load and the peak load. Okay. And the next concept today we are discussing. The next concept we are discussing about the storage of a hydroelectric power stations. Hydroelectric power station steam power plant. So here also simple thing. So if you run the power plant combination of okay. So when we require the maximum load, at the time we are running the steam power plant. Maximum load is combination of steam and the hydroelectric power plant. When you require the base load, at that time we can run the way by using of a steam power plant. So these are the cases only, steam power plants. Okay, thank you. If you have any queries, just mail me.